Yeah, Sconset, when I was here as a child, was much more self-sufficient than I believe it to be now. But everything was in Sconset then. We had several restaurants. We had was 2 gift shops on the bridge, and there was a barber shop and a gas station. And there was even a man who shined shoes and had a shoe stand. And there were art galleries, and there was just a lot more here then. And you didn't go to town. There was a hairdresser in Sconset too, cozy beauty shop. There was a branch of the telephone company and a branch of the water company. We got our first telephone when we got here. Sconset didn't have any telephones for the first few years we were here, but then we got a telephone.
The treasure chest was on the bridge, and of course that burned down several years ago. A beautiful shop with lovely things. And then there was a shop across the street from me called Gladys Leaves gift shop, and she had gifts and also a lending library, and it was a very busy spot.
There was a branch of the library. I don't know whether it had anything to do with the Athenaeum or not, but it was in a little cottage on Broadway called Low Tide, and it was run by a woman by the name of Mrs. Gardner. And I frequented it a lot during the period when I was into Bobbsey Twins and Nancy Drew and books like that.
Then I remember the Western Union telegraph store there. You could send your Western Union telegrams.
The area where Claudette's is was Maud Haddon's clothing store. People would go in and buy their bathing suits. Before that, it was an A&P.
Yeah, I remember the A&P. We had an A&P here, which was very convenient.
We had Cliff Eddy's, which had a soda fountain and a wonderful candy counter, comic books, newspapers, the post office, of course, and then Gordon and Arlene's market and a gas station.
And then Larry Welch had a meat butcher shop in Pump Square. Then there were 2 bathing shop stores down on the beach, just on the South Gully, called Tweedledum and Tweedledee. And people used to get by, bathing suits and so forth in there. And there were tea rooms and ice cream shops. Mrs. Morris had an ice cream shop right next to my grandmother's house on King Street. And if she messed up her ice cream, put too much salt in it, she'd give us all the ice cream, so we'd be eating salty ice cream quite a bit.
We were in the ice cream business way back in the early teens. And we had we first started down here on New Street, right across the casino in a tent. We had about 5 or 6 different kinds of ice cream. Then from that place, we graduated, if I may say so, to a little place that had full rooms in it. They call it Marshall's Homemade Ice Cream Parlor. That burnt down on October 29, 1924. It was a big building called the Phillips Block in the Post Office Square. We had an ice cream parlor in back of that, and we lost the ice cream parlor and all our books and the equipment and everything, along with the big building.
Then the Daisy Cott also was a little ice cream store. Daisy Cott was right on New Street there.
That we loved to do was go to the casino for movies. And the biggest treat was if we could have dinner at Daisy Cott first, which is just across the street from Court 1. And at that point, Dick Eldridge ran it as a little restaurant, and he made the best clam chowder you'd ever want to have. And so if we were fortunate enough as a group of kids to have our parents going to cocktails somewhere and wanting to not have to worry about us for dinner, we would try to get money so we could go to Daisy Cott and have a hot dog and then go to the casino and see the movie. And it was a heavenly night for both generations.
Then Piggy Gwynn's had a place near the tennis courts.
She ran a restaurant called Dine-A-Mite, Dine-A-Mite. And it was directly across from the post office, beside the casino down there.
I used to love to go down there, and she always had the waffles with the ice cream in the middle, which was good.
Island Lumber And after that, in that same building, we had a laundromat, and we had China Sea's restaurant.
And we had, of course, you had the Chanticleer was always there. And my grandmother, not that she was in competition with them, but my grandmother was the other person who ran restaurants out here. Well, she only had one restaurant, but she moved from place to place. She might stay there for 3 years, then she'd rent another place. So she had the same restaurant called Wander Inn. We used to say Wander In and stagger out. We used to kid her about it, you know. We just had so many things that it seemed more lively and more, I don't know how to put it, there were more things available at that time than there is now, really.
Yeah, we were really self-sufficient. We didn't need to go anyplace.